There are many wrong reasons why you are dating the wrong girl. Many of them. But I think three most common ones are: first, you are not really in love with her, you are more in love with the idea of being in love or the idea of being in a relationship. So you're more interested to be in a relationship than to be in a relationship with her. The second reason is that you are in love not with her particularly, but with the idea of her. And that's why half of the population of the earth is in love with Megan Fox and Angelina Jolie. Because you like the idea of her, because you like the way she looks, you liked her, you liked seeing her in a movie, but you have absolutely no idea how she is in the real world. Yet you are in love with the idea of her. And the third reason, the most common reason, is that you are dating her just because you don't want to be alone. You're either afraid to be alone because you've never ever been alone in your life, or you were alone ever since you were small, and maybe you were abandoned by your parents, or you didn't have so many friends, so you kind of want to fill in this gap with someone. Or you have been in a relationship, but then this relationship ended and now you want to fill the void with someone, so you just want to be with someone in order to not be alone. And whatever the reason is why you are together, they're wrong. Hello everyone, my name is Luminita, and before we start this video and dig deeper in the reasons and signs that she's the wrong one for you, I want to make a little disclaimer that this video is mind-blowing and it is life-changing. And I'm not saying this to grab your attention or make it a clickbait, whatever. I really mean it. The things or the signs are sometimes more subtle, some are more evident, but they are working and they are real. But this video will change your life and your perspective only and only and only if you are honest to yourself. During this video, you don't have to text me or write me in the comment section below or share it with a group of people. During this video, you have to critically think and critically analyze if your relationship, if you saw this sign, if your relationship is like this. And not think, oh, with us it's different, but be honest with yourself. And if you see that all 5 signs match 100%, you have to have the strength to tell yourself that this is the wrong person to you and you have to leave her today. This being said, let's get started. And the very first sign that she is the wrong one for you is if you recognize any of the reasons that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Any of the reasons can be 1 or 2 reasons, but if you honestly and openly recognize that, well, yeah, to be honest, I don't really love her, but I rather like the idea that she is the best in our company, or if being honest, I don't date her because I like her, but just because I don't want to be alone. If you honestly saw and felt one of the reasons why you started this relationship, then this is the first sign that she's the wrong one for you. You are the wrong one for her. This relationship shouldn't last a second more. The second sign that this relationship is meant to fail is called stagnation. If you recognize that ever since you are dating, your life didn't get better, let alone maybe stay the same, especially if your life got worse, meaning that the goals that you had, the life goals that you had, are not there anymore, you're not really passionate about anything anymore, all the hobbies that you had, you don't have them anymore. So ever since you're in a relationship with this girl, you kind of stayed at the same level or even got worse, then this relationship is not meant to be. In a relationship, in a healthy relationship with the girl that is the one for you, that is the right one for you, you'll not just be the same, but you will develop personally, financially. You will get better every single day, and if we're already talking about that, in a healthy relationship, both partners, and I said it partners because both partners are really motivating and pushing each other to be the best version of themselves. They're pushing each other to achieve their goals. In a healthy relationship, you are not in your comfort little bubble zone where, yeah, she's there, it's fine, or yeah, I actually loved playing volleyball, but yeah, I don't need it anymore. If you stop doing any sports because she's there anyways, or if you stopped taking care of yourself, or if you stop dreaming about something because you have it anyways, this is not the relationship that you need, and this is not the relationship that she needs. So if this is the case, leave her today. The third sign that she's the wrong girl for you is if you have absolutely no personal space or time. If you two are inseparable. And I know it can, not in the beginning of the relationship, because in the first phases, you're so in love, you want to spend every single second with each other, that's totally fine. But if in your relationship further in the future, you're doing everything together, you're spending all the time together, all your hobbies, you don't have your own hobbies, every hobby that you're having is with her. If you are standing next to each other all the time, if you work together, live together, have your hobbies together, everything is together, you don't have any personal space. Sometimes you have the feeling that even your thoughts in your head don't belong to you, but they're somehow shared. If you have this feeling that she is stuck to you, or she's so sticked to you, then you have to leave her. This is a toxic relationship. This is not a healthy relationship. It's a kind of cold in Austria. Sorry. The fourth sign that this relationship has no healthy future or bright future is dependency. Dependency in any context is bad. Anything. Being dependent on internet, on social media, on alcohol, on drugs, on some material things. Dependencies are generally bad. So what makes you think that if one of the partners is dependent on the other partner, that this dependency is somehow good? Because whatever you think, it's wrong. Dependency is bad. And if she's dependent on you financially, emotionally, materially, physically, if she's really dependent on you and she cannot live without you, most probably you don't need this person in your life. Because if someone is dependent on you, this gives you a position of power that you don't really want to have, because you will get in a very dark place called manipulation, and we all manipulate each other to some extent, even in relationships, especially relationships. But if she's dependent on you, and not that you provide her financially, but theoretically, if tomorrow you don't have money anymore, you'll not die, because she will find a way. This kind of girls, you give her something and she is grateful, but in case something happens, she is an independent person and she can help you, or she can provide herself with something. This is a different situation. Dependency. If someone is dependent on you, especially very dark place in relationships, emotional dependency. If someone is emotionally dependent on your emotions, if you're dependent on her, this is a 100% no-go, and you have to leave this relationship now while watching this video, because this puts her in a very strong, powerful position that she doesn't want to be in, you don't want to be in. If you depend especially emotionally on the person, this is the perfect case of toxic relationships that everyone is talking about. Depending on her mood all the time, depending on her time all the time, depending is a sign that this relationship between you and her is not suitable, is not healthy, and surprisingly and paradoxically maybe, happiest relationships and the happiest couples are actually independent from each other. Love is a choice. Relationship is a choice. So the healthiest and the happiest couples in the world are two independent people that decide to be together, but they can survive without each other. They don't want to, but they can survive without each other. And if you cannot imagine any second without her, and if you feel like if she breaks up with you, then you will want to take your life or die, or if she tells you all the time that if you break up with me then I'll die, most probably this is the red zone. You have to get out of it as soon as possible. While watching this video, you have to get out of it. The fifth sign that this relationship is wrong and she is not the one for you, if there are some personality restrictions. Meaning, if out of the blue, now, since you're in a relationship, you are not allowed anymore to do things that you really loved to in the past. For example, you loved going jogging in the city or in the park. This was your passion. But now suddenly, because you're in a relationship, she restricts you, or she is not allowing you to go jogging anymore. You're just not allowed to go jogging anymore. Or you were not allowed to take some self-development courses. You're not allowed to learn things. These restrictions and these personality restrictions are some strong manipulative tricks that your partner uses. And surprise, surprise, I also have a bonus tip for you, because I think it's very important to be mentioned. And this tip is more suitable if you are already in a relationship for 1 to 2 years, so you pass the initial phase. And I think you should terminate this relationship if you have zero common views on the future. Zero. If after 2 years of discussing, planning, you still are on the opposite sides when talking about the future, for example, one person wants to have kids and the other person strictly doesn't, if one person wants to strictly invest in a house and buy a house and the other person doesn't want a house but wants to travel around the world, you will break up at some point anyways. So why not do it today and then find a person that will really accompany you in your visions, a person that shares your goals or is going at least in the same direction or in a similar direction. Because of course in relationships, and this is why I said you have to think about this tip after 1 to 2 years, because at the beginning, of course, two strangers meet, they can have different ideas of the future. That's totally normal. But usually in the course of 1 to 2 years, you discuss about it, and if there are some little things, you come to a compromise, so you can negotiate some things. So if your relationship is healthy and has a healthy future, if in this course of 1 to 2 years you kind of came to a similar idea, it doesn't have to be a perfectly aligned idea of the future, but you still have some common values. You both want a family, or you both don't want a family. You both want a wedding, or you both don't want a wedding. You both want to have your own house bought by you, or you both want to travel every single 3 months and not have your own apartment. You need to have these core things, because otherwise this relationship doesn't have a sustainable future. Today's video was not on such a pleasant topic as usual. It's also cold outside, matching the vibe. But I think that you have to rewatch this video or really put it on stop and think, be honest to yourself. If you saw that one of these signs, or especially all of these signs, are matching your relationship profile or are matching the profile of the girl that you are dating right now, it's a not a good relationship. It's a toxic relationship and you have to end it. It can be hard. You can have doubts that, oh, I will never ever meet a girl again, or nobody will ever look at me again, or never, no other such a beautiful girl will look at me. Stupid things. Forget it. You will get the person that is the right one for you if you are honest with yourself, if you understand for yourself what are your boundaries, what are your values, and then and only then you'll find the one. But if right now you realize that now after thinking, after 3 years of the relationship, I lost all my friends, I lost contact with all my family members. I somehow have only friends with her, and all the friends that I have are only her friends, and all the hobbies that I have had disappeared, and I don't have some goals in life anymore, and that's all weird. And actually she doesn't want kids, but I really would love to. But if you now start to think about it and you realize that these signs match the description of your relationship, I'm sorry, but she is the wrong one for you. You are also the wrong one for her. And that's why you should leave her today. Now, I hope that the information from today's video was helpful for you. If so, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If there are any other signs that she's the wrong one for you that you experienced but I didn't mention in this video, let us all know in the comment section below. I think it's very useful for us to share our personal experiences, because this is how we learn actually, and this is the best way to learn such things as dating and love and communication. If you want to learn even more about communication and love and romance and dating, you can click here and here. Here's a playlist. There are even more videos there. You can click here to join my growing community. Click on the bell button to get notified every single time when I post something new. Remember that communication builds connections and miscommunication builds a mess. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.